Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah. There are many issues in human life that as we grow and evolve, we have to battle with, deal with, and reconcile with. One is, of course, a big one is religion, the other one is relationships, and. Marriage is also an important social institution that can cause a lot of goodness and can cause a lot of suffering, like anything else in life. What is good for you now can be your poison tomorrow, and so on and so on. This institution had emerged over the last 10, 20,000 years ago. Before that, we were the hunter-gatherer, people wandering around, and that's how reproduction, whatever occurred, with certain values so that there is not too much suffering and quarreling. But today's marriage, after 2,000-3,000 years of established agricultural settlements and towns and cities, it has reached a point that people have to enter that zone with caution, understanding, and conditions. You have to also look back into the origin of the whole story as to who are you? Who is he? Who is she? What do you want in this life? What is the end of it? Very brief summary. We are on a short journey from the unknown of birth to the unknown of death. In the meantime, as you grow up, by the time you are in your 20s, 30s, and so on, you have certain needs to be satisfied, such as health, reasonable amount of protection of dwelling what you are in, clothes, food. Relationships then loom very important. And marriage is a key central issue. Nothing in this life is on its own. And each one of us attempting all the time to bring in to our life stability, reliability, quality, and all the other needs so that you can transcend it. Life as you and I experience it, it's all the time beckoning, all the time pushing us towards a higher zone of consciousness or intelligence that is no longer duality, into the original perfect light, which is the nature of your own ruh, your own soul. Now, marriage had evolved in the last few thousand years to bring stability to communities, societies, whose wife, whose husband, whose children, so as people also connect with responsibility with each other and have certain accountability and certain expectations and so on. The last 2-3 decades, because of the life on earth has changed so dramatically with the internet, with ease of connection, travel. 100 years ago, it was almost taboo from a nation or a tribe to get married to others. Nowadays, it's actually the reverse. People from the south are in the north, and north have married in the colder climates, and so on and so on. So now we have to look at it with this in mind. What do you want out of the marriage? You want companionship, you want solace, you want friendship, you want help, you need, and also the issue of sexuality. So there are different strands, probably 20, 30 of these strands that 50 years ago a usual marriage satisfied them all. They get married early, and also life expectancy was much less. They get married at the age of 15, 16 when their sexual drive is high, and by the time they are in late 30s, early 40s, they're leaving this world. The ruh carries on. Now, it has changed. So now you need these needs to be addressed. Your career needs, your financial needs, your companionship needs, your needs of domestic backup, food, shelter, and. So you may look for what used to be one point of satisfaction, which is called your wife or husband, to numerous other points, and have that one point at least defined as standard or ongoing, reliable helper, companion, friend, or whatever else you like to call it. If you don't do that, it will always end up in disaster. You start with good intention. It has in it the novelty of something new. After a few years, either he or she get fed up. So this is how it goes. And therefore, you have to accept that it is not an all-embracing, easy situation. And the other important issue is to realize that you are a soul, and he or she is another soul. Souls, in essence, are the same, but once they are put onto this hijab or into this temporariness, you find different thoughts, different ideas. No two minds meet for a long time. So often it's expectations that cause a lot of dis-ease in marriage. The less you have expectations of each other, the more you have respect and also certain distancing, the more manageable, durable, and enjoyable it can be. The other issue is that the flexibility of entering into marriage and leaving it used to be very much so earlier on. But in the last few hundred years, it became very fixed. Especially in certain religious communities, it became a taboo. Why? You've met, you've been together, now you've grown, you have changed, he or she grown. So be flexible, correct, with honesty and responsibility and accountability.